Hey everyone, good evening. Welcome to Microsoft Azure AZ-104 introduction session. My name is Mayank and I'm going to be your instructor for Microsoft Azure. Okay, so before actually moving further, on to the, Microsoft Azure, we need to understand what exactly is the cloud computing because we know that Microsoft Azure is the cloud computing platform. So we need to understand what is cloud computing. Okay. So I have a presentation for you guys, that will be very much beneficial for you. So let me just actually open that. There we go. Oops. Let me just actually present this, right? Okay. Here we go. So first of all, what exactly is the cloud computing, right? So cloud computing is the delivery of computing services. So आप लोगों ने ये देखा होगा कि हम लोग अपने कंप्यूटर का यूज करते हैं. We use our computer, right? Just in case if we just need to install any application, we use our computer. And if I just talk about virtualization, we do that virtualization on our computer, right? We use several softwares like VMware, Hyper-V, VirtualBox, so many softwares to create the virtual machine. Even I do have this. If you can just, have a look over here. If you can just have a look over here, I have the Hyper-V over here installed. Now, what exactly it do? It creates virtual machines. It's like on it, right? So this provides a virtualization layer on our operating system. And on top of it, we can install various virtual machines. But you just need to keep this thing in mind that my laptop or my computer should have enough resources to share with these virtual machines. Now, if I just say that I have this virtual machine, DC1, now this virtual machine will acquire some processor, some RAM, and some hard disk. If I talk about my computer, I do have around 12 gigs of RAM. You can just see on the screen. I have 12 gigs of RAM. I have Core i5 processor, right? Now, if I need to create a virtual machine on my computer, it should reuse my resources. If I just go on to the settings of this virtual machine, so you can just see that I have allotted 2 gigs of RAM. So out of that 12 GB, I have allotted 2 gigs of RAM to this particular virtual machine. Now I have to spend some upfront cost in order to create the virtual machine. I have to get a good laptop. I have to spend a lot of money. And after that, I can create the virtual machine. But what if I do not want to spend that much amount of money? I just need to spend a little resource, a little money, and then I can, like create all the virtual machine. And that is what the cloud computing provides us. So if I just talk about the cloud computing, it provides us the storage, the databases, the servers, networking, software, and intelligence over the internet. Now, you don't have to pay for the big servers. You don't have to pay for such a big hardware resource. You don't have to pay for the air conditioner, that will actually, keep your servers cool, right? So anytime you can just use the resources over the internet, that is what the cloud computing is. So if you want to create computers or virtual machines, if you want to create databases, if you want to use the storage, you can use cloud computing. Now, Google, the Google Drive offers us 15 GB of free space. But if we just want more space, then we have to pay Google. So we are not keeping the data at our home or in our pockets. We are keeping our data on that Google Drive. Okay. Now with that, they are actually taking money or they are taking charge from us if we just want to store our data on their servers. Now it's their responsibility to take care of our data, to protect them from any kind of viruses or threats, so that is what we are paying them. Now, if we create virtual machines onto the cloud computing platforms, now it will be the responsibility of the cloud computing platforms like Azure or AWS. Now they will keep our virtual machines up and running. We don't have to, go and, pay the upfront cost and get a laptop. And we don't actually have to service our laptop after every 6 months. We don't have to pay for the electricity in order to run that virtual machine. So everything is going to be managed by the cloud computing platform providers, or I should say the cloud computing providers, right? So if you just want all these resources over the internet to us, that is known as cloud computing. All right. Now, why cloud computing? Again, now there are some, aspects which we need to discuss. So the cost, okay. Now we don't have to spend the upfront cost. We don't have to get the server or the hardware resource first. So we will just go and, use the hardware, and we will pay only for that particular thing. So if I just go on Azure and if I say I need a public IP, so I will just pay for the public IP. If I go and say I need the blob storage, so I'll just pay for the blob storage. That's it. I'm not going to pay for the virtual machines, the hardware, or I should say the CPU, the RAM. I'm not going to pay for that. So whatsoever service you need, just use that and pay for that service. And that too, pay as you go. It depends upon how much you use. Okay, the more you use, the more you'll pay. But the less you use, you'll save your cost. Talking about the speed, yes, we can always select, the resources according to our use. If we want the speedy processor, we can actually go and select the speedy processor. It's not like that I have bought my laptop and, this is core i5, and later on I just realize oh my god, I just need i7. After 1 year, I just realized I just need to go back and sell my laptop and get a new i7 from the market. But this is not with the case of cloud computing. So what you can do, you can always resize your virtual machines anytime, anywhere. You don't have to, like go and sell your old machine and get the new machine. No, that is not the case. Okay. Then we have the global scale. So this is globally available, right? And definitely, you can just access it anytime, anywhere, from the internet. You just need to have an internet connection. That's it. Okay, so I have all the answers to your questions, like you are asking, like we have the platform as a service or the infrastructure as a service. Just wait, I'll just explain that. Okay, productivity. Now there are several other advantages like productivity, performance, reliability, security. All these things are going to be provided by the cloud computing providers. Okay, now why Azure and what exactly is the Azure? So Azure is the cloud computing platform that is offering us more than 200 products. Okay, so it will make our life easy, it will bring new solutions to our life. So definitely the most challenging days are not going to become more challenging. We can easily, we can easily deal with our daily problems, which we actually deal in the IT world. So Azure was basically launched on 1st of February 2010, and it is free to start. You don't have to pay anything. Just it is free to start, and it also provides you the pay as you go model. The best part, when you actually create a free account on Azure, Azure basically offers you 14,500 rupees as a credit for 1 month. You can spend that 14,500 rupees on purchasing the Azure resources. So for 1 month, you can just use Azure the way you want, right? So 95% of the Fortune 500 companies use Azure services, and yes, that is true. So we always believe in the Fortune 500 companies, and 95% of those companies use Microsoft Azure services. It also supports programming languages like C Sharp, Java, Ruby, etc. So if you want your applications, you have your .NET application, you have your Ruby application, Java, PHP, C Sharp, you can, deploy those applications on Azure without worrying about the virtual machines. Like you don't have to rely on the physical hardware that you are having. Just go and deploy on the Azure, and Azure will take care of the rest of things. Azure will take care of your application. You just need to write down the code, publish it on the Azure, and that will be good to go. Now, you'll be happy to know this, Azure is having the data centers in 140 countries. So Wherever you are, you'll get the nearest data center, and the connectivity will be that fast. you know so maybe if you want to place your virtual machine in East US, West US, Central India, Australia East, South US, anywhere. So wherever you are, just place your virtual machine near you and you'll get the better response. Now, always remember that you have to achieve this badge, and this is what you are, looking for. So this is why you are doing this course. You need this badge, right? And definitely, once you'll have this badge, it will be very much easy for you to go and take the job. Even if you are doing job, then Azure is basically a good option to upgrade yourself to get the promotion and all that stuff. So if you're thinking of shifting your like going away from your previous company, if you just want to join a new company, just go and learn something new and then apply for the post. And even if you are a fresher, then also you can go for Azure. Before actually telling you like how the interface looks like, let me just actually tell you the prerequisites for this. So you don't need to actually go and understand a lot much things. You should have the basic knowledge of something known as networking, which includes the IP addresses and subnetting, right? The routers and the switches. You just need to understand the routing. That's it. You just need to understand something known as the Windows server. You just need to understand Windows server, like how we can deploy a web server, what is a Windows server, so that you can get from the MCSA course, right? And you just also need a little understanding about the Linux servers. So this is not the hardcore thing yet that you need to completely learn, but yes, you can learn this. And after that, you can straight away jump onto the Azure. And by the way, if you do have the knowledge of this, then you can straight away jump onto the Azure without any hesitation. If you do have a little understanding, it's fine. You can go, right? Now, let me just take you to the actual interface of the Azure, that how the Azure looks like. And for that, you just need to open one address. I just open my browser, and you just need to type something known as portal.azure.com. So you just need to enter this. I already have opened this over here, but I just need to tell you the URL. That is why I'm telling you right over here. Okay. And we have the portal.azure.com, and here it will ask you to create one Microsoft ID. So if you have a Gmail ID or the Yahoo ID, you can link it with the Azure, right? But if you do not have, then that's fine. You can go ahead and create one new. So I don't have any ID. I can just go and click on create one, and I can just click on get a new email address, or you can use the phone number instead. So I'm just going to create a new email address. For example, I'll type uh, maybe 32@outlook.com. Let me just say next, and I'll create a password. Sorry, can't show you my password. Okay, and let me just say next. Now I have to do some kind of verification just to prove myself that I'm not a robot. Okay, so it may ask for the verification. So you just need to solve a little puzzle, and after that you are good to go. So I just need to prove myself. So I just need to play with this little image, and there you go. Okay. Now what you need over here is you need to just provide your details, some details. So you can just see that you have entered into the Azure portal. You can just, stop this, and this is how the Azure looks like. We have so many services, but in order to access this, we need to create a free trial account. So if you'll create a free trial account, you'll get $200 as free credit. Okay. So before moving on to the Azure free trial, let's see what do we get in the Azure free trial. It's not about the credit only, but what else we get in the Azure free trial. So on the other tab, I'll just open Azure free account. Okay. And let me just click on azure.microsoft.com to actually, understand like what they are going to offer us. So I've already clicked on this. Let the browser load the website. And there you go. So get started with 12 months of free services. That's great. If I just scroll down, then you should see, what do I get? Well, I get 12 months of free popular services. I'll get 14,500 credit to explore Azure for 30 days. That means for 1 month. Congratulations. And you'll get 25 plus free services always. So you can just spend this credit, the way you want. Like, it will not charge you anything. You can just go ahead and spend it as the way as you want. So if I just scroll down, now with the free account, what else you will get? So if I just scroll down, for the next 12 months, what you are going to get is, and you are going to get the Linux virtual machines, Windows virtual machines, managed disks. Okay. Now, what do you mean by this, right? So actually, I'm going to continue in English and Hindi, a mix of that. So I hope everyone will understand that, right? Okay. So we'll get 750 hours of the virtual machines. So जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया यहाँ पे 750 hours, इसका मतलब ये है कि 1 month के अंदर, like within 1 month, आपको 750 hours मिलेंगे इस virtual machine को चलाने के लिए, right? उसके बाद अगर आप 750 क्रॉस करते हो, then this credit, the Azure is going to get the money from this credit. So आपके credit card से कोई पैसा नहीं जा रहा, it will start spending the money from this credit. And the problem is, with this free service, you can only get B1S standard tier. इसका क्या मतलब होता है? This means, like, आपकी जो virtual machine है वो बड़ी कम configuration वाली होगी. It will be like one virtual CPU, 1 GB of RAM, that is not going to work. Okay, so what you need to do, that you need to create a bigger machine than this. And if you'll create a bigger machine, no problem, you're not going to get charged. You can always spend your credit. That is what I'm telling you कि Azure में benefits क्या हैं? Benefits ये हैं कि आप ये जो credit है ये spend कर सकते हो. आपको, और जैसे कि आपको गूगल क्लाउड प्लेटफॉर्म में भी आपको क्रेडिट मिलता है, राइट? सो आप उसके अंदर भी स्पेंड कर सकते हो. लेकिन Azure इज लाइक मच पॉपुलर देन गूगल क्लाउड प्लेटफॉर्म. तो यहाँ पर भी आपको क्रेडिट मिल रहा है, तो अच्छे से स्पेंड करो इसको. बड़ी बड़ी वर्चुअल मशीन्स बनाओ, फास्ट वर्चुअल मशीन्स बनाओ, एंड यू आर गोना रॉक इन दिस, राइट? Slow virtual machines may you're not going to practice. That is, like, the machines will run slow, and the web servers are going to run slow. So in order to avoid that, we'll spend this credit wisely. Okay, and I'll make sure you spend this credit wisely, right? So don't worry, I'll let you know how you can actually spend this credit. Okay. Okay, we have some comments on YouTube. Let me just see. Okay, so yes, Starlink is also coming to India. I know, satellite-based internet, right? That is amazing, right? Anyways, so you'll get the managed disk, blob storage, file storage, SQL database, and a lot more things. But हम सारी चीज़ों का benefit लेने वाले हैं, तो इसीलिए we are going to spend this credit, and we can actually go ahead and start the free trial. If I just click on start, it will shift me onto the other web page जहां पे मुझे अपनी details fill up करनी है. Okay. Let me just actually see. यहाँ पे हमारा Azure sign up page है. So you have to provide your details. You have to provide the information like your name, your phone number for the verification purpose, right? So let me just log into the Azure. So here we have the sign up page. And you just need to type your name. You can put the email address. You can put the phone number. I'm not going to put my phone number, but just a demo number. You can put your organization, like maybe ABC, and hit next. So it will actually send you a verification on your phone number via text or call. That is your choice. After that, you need to go and verify your identity through a credit card. So that has to be a Visa card or the MasterCard. It is not going to charge you anything, only 2 rupees will be deducted, and that too will come back. 2 रुपए कटेंगे और वो उसके बाद वापस आ जाएंगे. After the successful registration, it will come back. And you just need to actually go on to the agreement. say yes to the agreement and click on OK. Now, you know what, एक चीज बड़ी दिमाग में आती है हमारे कि अगर हम इस क्रेडिट लिमिट को क्रॉस कर जाते हैं, इफ आई जस्ट क्रॉस माय लिमिट यहाँ पे जो 14,500 है, तो फिर कैसे ऑपरेट होगा? क्या मेरे क्रेडिट कार्ड से पैसे चले जाएंगे? नॉट एट ऑल। जब तक आप नहीं चाहेंगे, आपके क्रेडिट कार्ड से पैसे नहीं जाएंगे। Okay, it's much more like if you actually spend all your credit, and after that it will ask you that whether you want to shift on to the pay as you go model or not. अगर आप पे एज यू गो मॉडल पे नहीं जाना चाहते तो ये एक भी रुपया चार्ज नहीं करेगा आपसे। ओके, सो यू जस्ट नीड टू कीप दिस थिंग इन माइंड, दैट्स इट। बड़े ही आराम से आप खुलकर इस मनी को स्पेंड कर सकते हो। Okay, now the thing is, some people may ask, like, if I do not have a credit card, then what can I do? So you can actually go for the Azure student account if you are a student. So you just need your college email ID, and with that you can actually create the Azure student account, right? उसमें आपको थोड़ा कम मिलेगा जो क्रेडिट होता है, like around $100, but definitely you can go for that also. Okay, now let me just actually show you after this sign in page how we can get this. So let me just move on to my portal. So this is the exact portal. अब यहाँ पर आप लोग अगर एक कंप्यूटर परचेज करते हो, उसके ऊपर आप बेसिकली वर्चुअल मशीन इंस्टॉल करते हो, कितना कुछ इंस्टॉल करते हो, आपको बहुत टाइम लग जाता है। लेकिन विद एज्योर इट इज जस्ट अ मिनट्स गेम। 1 मिनट के अंदर या 2 मिनट के अंदर आपकी वर्चुअल मशीन रेडी हो जाएगी और आप उसको आराम से जितना चाहे उतना यूज कर सकते हैं। सो लेट्स गो अहेड एंड सी। आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं मेरे पास जो क्रेडिट है वो अभी भी 11,000 रुपीज पड़ा हुआ है। सो आई एम यूजिंग दिस वाइजली। मैं बहुत अच्छे से इसको यूज कर रहा हूँ। जब मुझे जितना चाहिए होता रिसोर्स मैं यहाँ से यूज करता हूँ। आई स्टिल लेफ्ट विद 11,000 रुपीज, राइट? Okay, I'll just close this. Now, let me just tell you how you can create a virtual machine. Now, this is the introduction session. यहाँ पे सिर्फ आपको मैं introduction दे रहा हूँ. The actual topic will start from tomorrow. I'll tell you like everything from the very scratch. If you don't know anything, don't worry. I'm going to teach you a single scratchy thing, right? So let me just go on to the virtual machine. Here we have the virtual machine. And I'll just add a new virtual machine. I'll just create a new virtual machine, right? So here, यहाँ पे आप किसी भी तरह की वर्चुअल मशीन बना सकते हो। विंडोज 10, विंडोज 7, विंडोज सर्वर, लिनक्स, रेड हैट, whatever you want, just name it, right? So if I just collapse this menu and let me just bring you on the full screen. So यहाँ पे सबसे पहले मैं एक रिसोर्स ग्रुप बनाऊंगा, बिकॉज जो भी चीजें मैं यहाँ पे बना रहा हूँ, मेरी वर्चुअल मशीन, मेरा आईपी एड्रेस, नेटवर्क अडेप्टर, वो सारी रिसोर्सेज होती है, तो इनको कोलैबोरेट करके मुझे ग्रुप में डालना है। दैट इज व्हाई आई हैव टू क्रिएट अ ग्रुप। आई जस्ट क्रिएट अ ग्रुप एज डेमो ग्रुप। आई से ओके। यहाँ पे अपनी मशीन का नाम दे दीजिए, जो भी आपको नाम देना है। जैसे मैं यहाँ पे डेमो वीएम नाम दे रहा हूँ, और देखिए यहाँ पे ग्रीन टिक आ गया, मतलब ये नाम अवेलेबल है। Now just see this thing, and I have the region selection. मैं अपनी virtual machine दुनिया में कहीं पर भी place कर सकता हूँ। अब भले ही आपको मौका मिले ना मिले दुनिया घूमने का, but you can place your virtual machine anywhere around the world. So I'll select East US region. Okay, I'll select East US region. Now I'll skip this option. This is not for now. We can just install Ubuntu, Windows Server 2019, 2012, Windows 10, Red Hat, and a lot more. CentOS, Debian, anything you want, just go ahead. Now I'm going to actually deploy the Windows Server 2019 because this will be the primary operating system on which we are going to work. So here we have the Windows Server 2019. Now just see, this is the size of my virtual machine, the configuration of my virtual machine. अब जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया यहाँ पे कि मेरे पास अलग अलग साइजेस हैं वर्चुअल मशीन के। अगर मैं सी ऑल साइजेस पे क्लिक करता हूं, आई हैव अ वाइड वैरायटी। ओके, नाउ जस्ट सी, हमें जो फ्री में मिल रहा था, फ्री में जो हमें वर्चुअल मशीन मिल रही थी वो थी B1S। इसमें जरा ध्यान दीजिए, वी हैव 1 वर्चुअल CPU, वी हैव 1 GB ऑफ रैम, That's it. This is very low configuration, right? But what I'm selecting is 2 virtual CPUs and 8 gigs of RAM. This is a quite good machine. अगर यही machine मैं market में लेने जाऊं, so it will cost me a lot. But here, no, not at all. I'm not gonna pay a single penny. So just click on this. Just select your desired virtual machine and click on select. So I have this. Now you just need to assign a username. I'm going to assign the username as admin123. I'm going to set a password. Now, अगर आपके पास यहाँ पे license नहीं है तो कोई problem नहीं है, right? I'll just actually scroll down and I will just click on review and create. मैंने यहाँ पे click किया. Now these all options are we are going to discuss, in the actual class, like not in the introduction session. Okay, so अब यहाँ पे देखिए. Now it is actually showing like if you run this virtual machine, यहाँ पे मुझे तकरीबन 13.5 रुपए पड़ेंगे per hour. Okay, so on an hourly basis, I'll be charged 13.5 rupees. That's it. Not bad. And I'm not going to pay for this. Microsoft will actually pay for this. Okay, so I'm just gonna go and click on create and it will create a virtual machine for me. It will create that resource. It will create a CPU with 2 processors, 2 virtual processors, 8 gigs of RAM and the operating system installed on this. मुझे क्या करना? I just have to use it. That's it. This is how easy it is, right? Okay, let us just wait for another minute and यहाँ पर हमें जो notification यहाँ पे आ रहा है कि this is deploying right now, but soon we'll get the message that the resource has been deployed और फिर हम उसके अंदर log in करेंगे, right? Let's see on YouTube what they are asking. Okay, please ask a question, Nikhil. Okay. You just need to practice and you can speak English. Anyone can speak English. Yes, I'm not Atul Sharma. I already gave my introduction. I'm Mayank, right? But maybe you are actually, like seeing the name because we are using the same IDs. That's why. Okay. So see, the resource is deployed. My machine is ready. And within 1 minute, my machine is ready. I don't have to wait for, 5 or 10 minutes. So I'll just click on go to the resource. Now my virtual machine is totally ready. I just need to take the remote of that virtual machine. Now just see this. This is my public IP address. Anyone can use it, but I'm really sorry. I will not share my credentials with you. But yes, if I just, like want to use this public IP, this IP can be used around the world. Anyone can use it, right? You can just click on connect, click on RDP. That is the remote desktop protocol. I'll just click on this. And यहाँ पर I need to download this RDP file. I'll click on this and I'll download the file and I'll click on this file. अब इस फाइल के थ्रू मैं कनेक्ट हो जाऊंगा मेरी वर्चुअल मशीन के ऊपर. Let's see. If I say connect, I'll put my credentials. ये वही credentials हैं जो कि मैंने वर्चुअल मशीन्स बनाने के टाइम पे एंटर किए थे. I'll click on OK and click on yes, and there you go. It is trying to configure the remote session, and there you go. You are logged in into your Windows Server 2019. I don't have to pay for the license. The Microsoft Azure will take care of that. मुझे नहीं पे करना लाइसेंस के लिए. मतलब जो मेरी कॉस्ट आई है 13.5 रुपीज पर आवर, वो डिपेंड करती है मैंने किस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन का सीपीयू बनाया हुआ है एंड कौन से सर्वर या कौन सी मशीन और मैं उसका जो लाइसेंस यूज कर रहा हूँ वो हर चीज मिलकर आ रही है, राइट? And there you go. This is my server. If you want to check the configuration of this server, definitely you can. I can just click on the local server. यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं मेरे पास local server है. So this is my server manager and you can see that I have, Xeon processor, I have 8 gigs of RAM. ओके एंड यहां पर अगर मैं आपको माई कंप्यूटर दिखाता हूं विच इज दिस पीसी, सो आई हैव 126 और 127 gigs ऑफ स्टोरेज. और ये नॉर्मल स्टोरेज नहीं है, दिस इज प्रीमियम एसएसडी, वे फास्टर, right? We have way faster machines. And we do have a temporary storage, and we are going to discuss what is temporary storage and why it is used, right? So this is how you can use Azure anytime, anywhere. अब कल को मैं अपने लैपटॉप पे अवेलेबल नहीं हूं, इफ आई एम ऑन सम अदर लोकेशन, मुझे कोई टेंशन की बात नहीं है. आई जस्ट नीड टू नो माई आईपी. अगर आईपी भी नहीं पता, जस्ट लॉग इन ऑन टू योर Azure console and you can easily go on to this page and connect to your virtual machine. That's it. Simple. Right? Okay, before actually moving further, let me just, answer all of the questions. Yes, Mukesh, you have the right question that we have the, default 126 gigs hard disk available on this, SSD available on this virtual machine. So the question is, which is good, AWS or Azure? See, both the service providers are actually good, So the thing is that the difference is AWS is offering a lot many services, but Azure is offering more refined services. Azure कम services provide करता है as compared to AWS, लेकिन refined है. अगर हमें कोई चीज implement करनी है, we straight away know अच्छा ये वाली चीज लगेगी यहाँ पे, easy. एंड रही बात, अगर मैं ट्रायल पीरियड की बात करता हूं, तो ऑन AWS we get the limited resources to use in the free trial, but in Azure we get the free credit, so we can use the resources as the way we want. Okay, so what is the use of this Azure in real life? देखिए, अगर आपको VPN बनाना है, you can go and use Azure. अगर आपको फाइल्स या डेटा स्टोर करना है, you can go on to the Azure. अगर आपको वीडियो स्ट्रीमिंग करनी है, यू कैन गो ऑन टू द Azure. वर्चुअल मशीन्स बनानी है, FTP मशीन बनानी है, वेब सर्वर बनाना, अपनी वेबसाइट डिप्लॉय करनी है, यू कैन यूज Azure. So there are more than 200 services that you can use with the Azure, right? Yes, Krunal, we haven't selected any storage on while creating the virtual machines because I straight away clicked on the review and create option. But I'm going to actually talk about the storage options as well, while we continue the exact, you should say curriculum, right? The terminology, the concept is same of AWS and the Azure and other cloud platforms, but फर्क यहाँ पर आ जाता है इनकी implementation का. कॉन्सेप्ट वही है, वो भी आपको वर्चुअल मशीन देगा, ये भी आपको वर्चुअल मशीन देगा, सारे वर्चुअल मशीन प्रोवाइड करेंगे, सारे VPN सर्विसेज, जो एप्लीकेशन डिप्लॉयमेंट, हर कुछ यहाँ पे आपको मिलेगा, लेकिन फर्क सिर्फ प्लेटफॉर्म का है. ऑलराइट, how can we assign the static IP? We can provide the static IP as the public IP also, and the private IP as well. You can just go on to the networking section. Now this is just the add-on. Okay, what is in the chat? I'll help you with that, Pankaj, don't worry. Yes, we can use the domain environment as well. Okay, so you just need to go on to the network interface, just go on to the IP configurations, and you can just go over here, and there you go. You can actually mention the static IP over here, right? If we know the IP, the very good question, Krunal, you have the very good question. If we know the IP of the virtual machine, बहुत अच्छा question है YouTube पे. अगर हमें IP पता है, तो हम लोग कैसे login कर सकते हैं अपनी virtual machine के अंदर? It's very simple. See, you just need to go on to your virtual machine. जैसे ये मेरा IP है, I'll just copy my IP. What you can do, just open MSTSC, that is the remote desktop connection from your computer. You can just copy the IP and paste it over here and click on connect. It will straight away ask you the username and password. See, you can easily connect. No problem at all. Right? Okay. So कंपनी क्या यूज करती है ज्यादा, AWS या Azure? ऐसा नहीं है. We actually have this thing in mind. कंपनीज क्या ज़्यादा यूज़ कर रही हैं, AWS ज़्यादा यूज़ हो रहा है, Azure ज़्यादा यूज़ हो रहा है. You can yourself Google it, right? Just Google it. The Fortune 500 companies in Microsoft Azure, you'll get the percentage. I'm not saying it myself. The internet is providing me the information. अब ऐसा तो नहीं है मैं हर कंपनी में जाके पूछूंगा कि आप यूज कर रहे हैं Azure. सो कंपनीज का मतलब ये नहीं है दैट हम लोग कोई गिनी चुनी कंपनीज को ही कंपेयर करेंगे जो एक्चुअल में बहुत ज्यादा मार्केट में ट्रेंडिंग है, राइट? जो मेन सर्विसेज हैं उसके ऊपर कंपैरिजन होता है. We always see the Fortune 500 companies, right? So that is what we are, actually looking at, right? Yes, I will discuss what is SaaS, what is PaaS, what is IaaS. I will discuss in detail क्या चीज होती है ये, इसमें क्या क्या मैनेजमेंट होती है, Azure हमें क्या क्या प्रोवाइड करता है, everything, right? Yes, and one more thing, I just need to let you know, यहाँ पे जो ये जो कोर्स होने वाला है, this is going to be practical, total practical course. हर चीज को प्रैक्टिकल वे में ही बताने वाला हूं मैं. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट आई एम गोना टेल यू ओके यू नो व्हाट इज वीपीएन, दैट्स फाइन, यू कैन जस्ट लाइक रीड अबाउट द वीपीएन, पुट इन द एग्जाम. ऐसा नहीं है. आई एम गोना टॉक अबाउट दैट व्हाट इज गोइंग टू बी यूज्ड इन द कंपनी, विच विल एक्चुअली ऑप्ट फॉर Azure, और व्हाट द कंपनीज आर यूजिंग. तो जो भी कंपनीज में, जैसे अगर मैं बात करता हूँ वीपीएन कॉन्सेप्ट, मेरी खुद की कंपनी में वीपीएन जो है वो Azure पे ही है, राइट? सो अगर मैं बोलूं कि कंपनीज ने अगर वीपीएन डिप्लॉय करना है वो कैसे होगा, सो आई टेक अ सिनेरियो एंड आई पुट माय प्रेजेंटेशन बेस्ड ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर सिनेरियो. ओके, सो नो नीड टू वरी अबाउट कि किस तरह से ये चीज होने वाली है. एंड मतलब जब हम जॉब पे जाएंगे तो जॉब पे हमसे वहां पे क्या काम होने वाला है, आई मेक यू रेडी, बिकॉज वी ऑल्सो वर्क on the same, like on the same platform. So I am the Azure cloud engineer in my company, right? And definitely based on my experience only, I'm gonna tell you कि Azure में क्या क्या deployments company मांगती है और क्या क्या उसमें deploy हम लोग करते हैं और कैसे करेंगे. We'll use everything. So whatsoever there will be in the AZ-104 course, I'll make sure you should clear all the concepts, like, and you should be get ready with the examination part. If you just want to appear for the examination, you can easily do that. Okay, definitely I'm going to use the real time scenario. This is what I always do. I do not take it in a way, okay, this is the topic and okay, just implement this. This is not the way I do. Okay, I'll take a scenario and I draw a diagram, and based on the diagram I implement that thing on the Azure, right? Definitely I'm going to share the interview questions as well, like what the people are going to ask you, because I also take interviews when we have the recruitments happening in our company. I also take the interviews, and that is the part where I ask questions and maybe the other people is not able to reply. I don't want that that happens to you as well. So I'll be telling you, right, that how and what questions the interviewer is going to ask you. कोई एक्सपर्ट लोग मजाक नहीं उड़ाएंगे यहाँ पे. आप खुद ही एक्सपर्ट बन जाओगे फिर आप उनका मजाक उड़ाना, राइट? This course will include the administrator part, that is AZ-104. You can just check out the syllabus from Microsoft. We are going to follow the same syllabus, right? Okay, Durgesh, you have the question that अगर हमारी जो अकाउंट लिमिट है वो एक्सीड हो जाती है तो क्या होगा? कुछ नहीं होगा, आपको एक मैसेज आ जाएगा. इफ यू वांट टू मूव फर्दर, जस्ट टर्न योरसेल्फ इनटू पे एज यू गो मॉडल. ये आप एरो देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे, जस्ट सी दिस एरो. This is basically the upgrade option. If I click on this, it will ask me to upgrade. See the tooltip text, upgrade from your trial subscription. So if I just want to upgrade it to pay as you go model, I'll click on this. It will take me to the various types of subscription. I'll just select one subscription and I'll move ahead. Okay. Definitely, Naveen, we are going to basically discuss like what are the tags used for. Basically, tags are used for just to know that what resource has been assigned to what department. So if I just want to assign a virtual machine to HR department, then I can just use the tag of HR. इससे मुझे पता लग जाएगा मेरी बिलिंग, जब मेरी बिलिंग जनरेट होती तब मुझे पता लग जाएगा ओके ये पर्टिकुलर रिसोर्स मैंने एचआर को दिया था, यहां से मुझे इतना बिल जनरेट हुआ है, राइट? You don't need to know the real time scenario. I'll tell you the real time scenario. Don't worry. Okay. So that is all about the Azure for the introduction session, right? And yep, you can actually, go over here and, go ahead and use any type of subscription you want. But as of now, I do have a free trial account. Okay. You can also create a free trial account, right? And you can start implementing whatsoever I'm teaching. Okay. Uh, if you just want to do the hybrid environment, in the type of hybrid deployment, you need to know what is Exchange server, you need to know what is Office 365, you need to have a better understanding of the Active Directory on the Windows server and the Azure Active Directory. So you have to, need to have the knowledge of these four things, and then you can actually implement the hybrid environment. Okay, right? Cool. So that was the introduction about the Azure. I hope you liked it. And tomorrow I'm going to actually start the curriculum. You know, I'm going to start from very basic, and I'll see you tomorrow with the curriculum. And we are going to discuss from the very scratch, like what are the resources, how we can deploy the web server, how we can create the Linux virtual machine and use that. Everything will be everything I'm going to tell you, right? All right. All right, then thank you so much, guys. I'll see you tomorrow, and good night and take care of yourself. Bye bye.